Hi, welcome back to Ron's Garage. I came over today to do a little brake work and figured out I need actually two new pieces of brake line for the rear to go across the rear end of diff. So I've got to get those. That thing is so rusty, I had to cut one of them with a hacksaw to get it out. So there's that. Anyway, I got to take off now and go do some things. Sorry, no video of working on the car, but I'm sure you guys have all hacksawed off brake lines before, or at least, ripped them off somehow. So I'm not going to go there. Hopefully tomorrow I can get those rear brakes done. But, it's one of those things on an old car. Every time you do something, you find one or two more things that you got to do. I can't. Am I centered? No. Anyway, it's going to rain today, which would have been a perfect day to work on the car, but I got a couple other things I have to go do. So I'll go do those. But, just a little reminiscing. I wish I could work on this car a lot more. Time is my enemy. I watch videos of guys just, busting their butts, and they're knocking it down, and they're going to be driving, before I get my brakes done probably. But that's okay, I didn't go into this with a time limit or a budget. I went into it, trying to get by as inexpensive as I could, using what I had and what I could make and what I could fabricate and what I could find. So, there's only a few more parts I actually have to get to make this run and drive. I need a radiator and a windshield, a couple other little odds and ends, but that's pretty much it. I got some cool stuff on Father's Day, which I'll show you very soon. I'll line it all up for you and show you what my kids did. They're awesome. But I wish I could do segments. I would do a segment called Remember When. Let me just explain that a little bit. Reminiscing about the old days, that's all well and good, but, back before there were computers and cell phones and YouTube and anything else, there were still automotive parts stores and there were still junkyards. But, and a lot of you guys will be able to do this. I'll start it like this. Remember when you could walk into an auto parts store and the guy behind the counter knew what you were asking for? Do you? Do you really? Let me find, where is it? I brought it in here. Anyway, I don't need to show you. You guys know what I'm talking about. But it does irritate me that I set something down and don't see it. Anyway, I walked into an auto parts store and I showed him a wheel cylinder, brand new wheel cylinder. I took it in so I could match up the threads on the flare nut. So I asked him, I said, I need a flare nut for this. He looked at me seriously with his, unknowing eyes above his face mask, and said, what is that? I said, it's a wheel cylinder for rear brakes, drum brakes. And he said, okay, what's a flare nut? Now, I remember when you walked in an auto parts store and you could show a guy, I said, I need, this, and he, yep, I got it, or I don't have it, or, he knew what you were talking about. He knew what you were talking about. Now, these auto parts stores nowadays, it seems like to me, I don't have any firsthand knowledge of this, but, and all the big chains are doing it, so it doesn't, I don't even have to mention that, they want me to get in the zone, but they don't have anybody that works there that knows what they're talking about. But So, but they hire these kids, and that's okay. I like hiring kids. They need an entry-level job. They need experience. But you got to have some kind of knowledge about an auto parts, to work in an auto parts store. You know, grocery store, everybody knows what milk and bread is. They can pretty much figure that out, you know. But an auto parts store, you kind of got to know a little something. You know, I've gone in these places and mentioned I need a tool, and they look at me like I'm speaking some kind of foreign language. And these are common tools. So anyway, remember when? I do. I bet a bunch of you guys do too. So that's it for me for today. Tomorrow I'm either going to work on the car, or I have a rebuild kit for my power steering gearbox on the truck. I really do need to get into that. The input shaft is leaking. You know, it's probably not that complicated of a job. I've never done it before, but you know, looks pretty straightforward. So I need to do that either this weekend or next weekend. So we'll see how the cards play. But anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you subscribe, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.